Hello there, my name is Turner Freeze, and this is my part one of the course project focusing on the Western Sandpiper, or more scientifically known as the Couch's Mari. Pictured on your right is a photo of the Western Sandpiper, and they're often confused with other small shorebirds and their sister species, the semi-palaminated sandpiper, but they differ by having rust plumage and a black drooping bill. This is a species range map of the Western Sandpiper, and as you can see, the small shorebird resides on the coast of several countries, and this is due to birds being homeotherms and lacking sweat glands. So to maintain optimal performance, must stay in cool temperatures. Additionally, lots of food is available on the shoreline, and their diet consists of insects, spiders, small invertebrates, and aquatic invertebrates, and biofilm. Also, hugging the left side of the United States, going all the way up to Alaska and even eastern Siberia, this is known as the Pacific Flyway, and we will talk about that a little later. Small shorebirds mostly occupy shorelines because there are no predators on the home front, and the only competition they face is with one another. Biofilm is a very important source of energy and food for the sandpiper, and it is a scum-like mixture of diatoms, microbes, and sediment. And this is found also at the stopover sites on their northern migration. And the only way sandpipers will leave the shoreline is for northern migration, and it is very rigorous and very energy expensive. So they must utilize stopover sites along the Pacific Flyway all the way up to the tundra in order to make the flight. What interests me the most about the Western Sandpiper is their various abilities depending with their metabolism and physiology. Elrich in 1988 proposed this ability known as evaporated cooling, which birds utilize due to the lack of sweat glands. By standing in the water, the Western Sandpiper increases heat loss into their environment, which allows them to shed excess heat to maintain their optimal performance range. In contrast, they can maintain the heat lost to the environment by tucking their unfeathered extremities into their breast plumage and fluffing their feathers to increase the thickness of their insulation to reduce even more heat loss. Additionally, phenotypic flexibility is the ability for sandpipers' organs and flight muscles to increase 10 to 100% larger, and the greatest relative size change is found to be in their digestive system. And this is for more efficient breakdown of food and conversion to energy for flight. The interspecies interactions the Western Sandpiper have are mostly on stopover sites and their journey and their time spent at the tundra. As I said prior, there are no predators on their non-breeding grounds, which allows them to have a relatively protected life. But when they start making the migration upwards, they have to face these different dangers at the stopover sites. So merlins and peregrine falcons are the predominant predators at stopover sites, and they often eliminate a bunch of migratory birds that are on their way to the tundra. Further, long-tailed Jaegers and parasitic Jaegers, as well as red foxes, are the primary predators on breeding grounds. In order to combat this, the Western Sandpiper have developed adaptations to distract predators from their young on the tundra. This is an example of this would be they can pretend to be injured, and they also can mimic the sound of a rodent running away in the snow to confuse their predator. Throughout their lifetime, many Western sandpipers foster parasitic relationships with tapeworms, and these can change variable depending on the season. 3 to 4 days after the hatchlings are born, females will flee the nest, leaving males to be the primary provider. But due to Western Sandpiper hatchlings being vastly independent, 12 to 24 hours after being born, they maintain the same diet as adult Western Sandpipers. And their first flight is 17 to 21 days after hatching. This is my works cited. And thank you. This is all of my part one project focusing on the Western Sandpiper, more scientifically known as the Cowdrus mari. Thank you so much. And if you have any questions, let me know. Thank you.